blog was really heartwarming for me to write. It's entitled Dear Jeremiah, and it's because I met a little boy a few days ago named Jeremiah. His grandmother is a friend of mine, and she asked me to meet him. Jeremiah is 11 years old. He lives in North Philadelphia. He's from a neighborhood that's very similar to the neighborhood where I grew up. And he's a mathematician, and he's a budding engineer. And she wanted me to talk to him about my career as a scientist, as a researcher. She wanted me to show him my office and my lab and just sort of help him see what's possible. And it was heartwarming because I have my own Jeremiah, as you can hear in the background. That is my son, who should be napping right now, but is instead sitting up with his bottle, banging it up against the crib. That's parenting for you though, so you know, whatever. But it was such a really good experience. I hope for him, but definitely for me, because I found myself saying things to him that I needed to hear myself. And I found myself saying things to him that I hope and pray someone will say to my baby when he's 11 years old, because it can be tough to be young, gifted, and Black in a society that, man, they come after us, don't they? Oh, they come after us hard. So Jeremiah, if you are watching this, I want to say that it was a pleasure and a privilege meeting you. I am so proud of you already. I am happy for you, and I cannot wait to call you Dr. B the same way people call me Dr. B. You're going to get that doctorate. You're going to be a fabulous engineer, and you're going to do wonderful things. And I just want to remind you of some of the things that we talked about in our conversation. And I wrote them down in this blog so you can read them whenever, but I thought it might be helpful for you to listen to what I have to say. First things first, don't worry about what people have to say about you. People are going to call you a nerd. Let them call you a nerd. Nerds rule the world. People may say, oh, why are you reading those books? Why are you talking like that? That's acting white. Listen. There is nothing more Black than being educated. Education and Blackness, they go hand in hand. So if someone says that reading books is acting white, or talking with certain vocabulary is acting white, don't even bother with them. They just don't know. Keep it pushing. But I think that there are 5 things that I want you to remember. And these 5 things have helped me tremendously throughout my career. And I think as you're beginning your career, if you really grab hold to these 5 things, you'll be okay. Number 1, keep God first. When God is the head of your life, nothing bad can happen to you. Even something that looks bad is going to end up somehow turned and worked for your good. So you pray in the morning, you pray before you go to bed, you pray over your food, you pray when you're starting to read and study, ask God to help you understand what you're learning. You pray when people tease you and when people make fun of you. Keep God first. You hear my baby? He agrees with me. He's saying, yeah, Jeremiah, keep God first. Keep God first. When God is the head of your life, my love, nothing can deter you. Love God and keep him first. The second thing, love yourself. I wish that we would have made a different world for you to live, but we have not yet. And so we have created a world that's going to teach you how to hate yourself. That's going to tell you that you're too dark, you're too this, you're too that. You have got to be the voice in your own head loving you. So you get in front of that mirror and you say, I am a mathematician. I am an engineer. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am confident. You have got to love you. You have got to say nice things to yourself. You have got to think nice things about yourself. You've got to eat well. You've got to exercise. You've got to get your rest. Do things that are loving to you, okay? So number 1, love God. Number 2, love yourself. Number 3, find your passion and follow it. So you already know your passion. Your passion is math and engineering, but for all of the other Jeremiahs in the world who may not know what it is that you love, your first job when you're a young kid is to figure out, what do you love? What is your talent? What is your gift? What are your passions? And once you figured that out, your next job is to become the best at that thing that you can. So for you, Jeremiah, you love engineering. Your passion and your talent is math. So your job is to become the best mathematician that you can. You need to read as many math books as you can, take as many math classes as you can. You should be studying the famous mathematicians of the world. Eat, drink, sleep your talents. Because when you follow your gifts, everything else comes. I know people are going to tell you to chase money. Don't chase money. No one gets rich chasing money. People always get rich chasing their passions. So find what you're good at and keep doing it. Number 4, be of service to others. Right? Once you've figured out what your gifts are and once you've become the best person that you could possibly be at your talent, your next requirement is to figure out how to serve others with your talent. How can you bless someone with your mathematical skills, Jeremiah? How can you help your community with your engineering skills? You are given so that you can give, right? God gave you your gifts so that you can be of service to others. Do you hear my son? He is all the way telling you to listen to his mama because she knows what she's talking about. Do those things. Serve others. It is more blessed to give than to receive. And one thing that I've learned about this world is that when you give, people give right back to you. So you don't have to worry about giving and running out. There's no such thing. Right? So number 1, keep God first, love God. Number 2, love yourself. Number 3, find your passions and then follow it. Number 4, serve others. And then finally, number 5, have faith. Never fear. Jeremiah, remember what I told you. There is nothing to fear. The God that is in you is bigger than whatever you could possibly imagine is scary. And remember rule number 1, keeping God first. If you keep God first and you remember how big God is, then whatever you're afraid of, you can just give that to God. Lord, I'm afraid of this test. Give it to God. And there is something about turning your fears and your worries over to God. God makes it okay. He's having church with me. He said, amen, mama. Keep God first. And when you keep God first, rule number 1, then you can be filled with faith, rule number 5. And those things will keep you and sustain you as you're building this career. So again, rule number 1, love God, keep God first. Rule number 2, love yourself. Rule number 3, find your passion and follow it. Rule number 4, find out how to be of service to others. And rule number 5, choose faith over fear. These 5 tools, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're trying to accomplish, no matter where you are going in your life, which for you, Jeremiah, it is MIT, and I am so proud of you for choosing MIT. You hold on to that dream, baby. Those 5 tools will get you over every mountain. They will get you through every valley. They will make every dark place light. Trust me, because I'm clinging to them 5 rules. I'm clinging to them with white knuckles, and my life is pretty good because of it. So thank you so much, Jeremiah, for meeting me and for talking to me and for helping me to say these things out loud because I needed to hear them myself. And to every other Jeremiah out there, to every other young, gifted, and Black baby mathematician, engineer, scientist, you keep those 5 rules close to you because you've got it. And you've got people like me and a whole bunch of other folks who are out here grinding and hustling and working so that the world that you enter is just a little bit, well, no, it should be a lot of bit better than the world that we entered. Thank you for watching this vlog, for reading this blog, and for hanging with me and my kid who should be asleep but ain't today. Thanks.